teams who will overachieve in the SEC. I got two. All right. One of them I kind of hit on, but we're going to start with the one that I didn't. At number one on the list for me is South Carolina. Over 6.5, according to Fox Bet, where we get these wins totals for you to bet on. I got them at 7. 7-8 seems within the realm of possibility for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Now, they surprised everybody, including myself, by not just appearing in a bowl, but winning the Duke's Mayo Bowl against North Carolina in Shane Beamer's year one. It means he also got doused with nasty mayonnaise. You serve me up mayonnaise, I'm just assuming that you're trying to poison me. I can't do mayonnaise, man. I lose my mind. It's just kryptonite. Now, they add Oklahoma quarterback Spencer Rattler, who I'm still very high on, and Austin Stogner, great tight end, 6'6", big dude. You also have a couple of guys that I think are underrated on that team already, but not the least of which is Jaheim Bell, because I think Jaheim can do almost anything. And I think one of the ways in which Shane Beamer gets him involved in what they do is going to tell us a lot about what they expect from the offense. Added to that, Wake Forest transfer Christian Beal Smith, who has the ability to do what Kenneth Walker did at Michigan State. He's that good. You also have an underrated transfer, James Madison transfer, Antoine Wells, joins the Gamecocks after having at JMU 116 passes caught, 1,853 yards receiving, 21 TDs as a Duke. Now, the Dukes are going into their final season of FCS play because they're going to just, up and join FBS, and everybody's all up in arms about it. But I think on the defensive side, if Nickelback Cam Smith has the kind of season that he's capable of having, he had 11 passes defended last year, 3 INTs. They'll be good enough at keeping the lid on the defense to do more than win 6 games, which means they'll win 7. Again, the over is 6.5 here. I think that's a solid bet for you. Now, other team I kind of stressed at was Arkansas at over 7.5. Again, you're returning both coordinators, Kendall Browse, Barry Odom, head coach, Sam Pittman. You're returning your starting quarterback in KJ Jefferson. You've added a couple of high-value transfers, Oklahoma wide receiver Jaden Hazelwood, Alabama linebacker, former 5-star. Both of those guys are former 5-stars. And Drew Sanders. Jalen Catalon is a stud at safety. You're in a good position to go and win 8 games. Take care of Cincy. That's the big one for them. All right. Quickly, I want to touch on a team that I think is going to underachieve in 2022. It's on the rundown. I got to do it. It's Mississippi State at 6.5. I think 6 is probably the best that we're looking for from Mississippi State. They got games at LSU, at Alabama, at Kentucky, at Ole Miss, Georgia, and A&M. I don't think that you would pick them to beat any of those teams. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. Right there. Right? To say nothing of your non-conference that has Arizona on the schedule. You should beat Arizona, but if you don't, it's going to be rough trying to get to 6 wins, let alone over 6.5. Bulldogs got a season opener against Memphis. They get Arizona after Memphis. So they got Memphis. I think Ryan Silverfield and his gang probably want to show everybody what's really good in the American, because they watch Central Florida get picked off to go to the Big 12, Houston get picked off to go to the Big 12, and Cincinnati get picked off to go to the Big 12, and they got left out. Feels like a miss to me, fam. And I think Ryan Silverfield and his gang are going to be ready to go, trying to not just beat up on an SEC West team, but an SEC West team that they share a recruiting footprint with, right? It's them and Mississippi, Ole Miss. They recruit the same players. Also, remember, Memphis is the program that gave us guys like, D'Angelo Williams. Or here's one for you youngins, right? Antonio Gibson. You know Antonio Gibson. You don't know anything about D'Angelo Williams. I wish you did, because that dude was a monster at tailback. All right. Bulldogs had a top 30 defense last year. They're going to have to do that and then some this year to get to the over of 6.5. Will Rogers threw 4,700 yards, but, it's kind of a misnomer because it ain't like Mike Leach makes a living running the football. Like, that's just not what he does. The tailbacks can catch the ball, but that's not what they do, right? Shout out to Osiris Mitchell, who had an outstanding year in the USFL, also played at Mississippi State, catching passes in a Mike Leach offense. Again, this is the benefit of having the college football dude be the USFL dude at Fox Sports. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome. All right. From that segment to this segment, best bets to put money in the bag. All right. I almost looked at this and was like, do I really want to pick an SEC team to put money in the bag? Some of me was like, you absolutely want to do that. You absolutely do. Now, first on that list for me is Cincy. right? Cincy's a good football team. You're like, RJ, they're a top 25 football team. How are you going to put them on a list for the money in the bag candidate? Because they're getting $1.5 million to go to Arkansas. Now, I'm sure that this deal was made well before Luke Fickell turned that program into the kind that can make the college football playoff. And you're looking at that if you're Arkansas going, oh, man, we were expected to get some other version of Cincinnati, a version of Cincinnati that might better resemble Ball State. No, we got this version of Cincinnati coming to us. So they're getting $1.5 million to go play at Arkansas. If they're able to win it, yes, we will talk about it because, again, it's money in the bag. It's not top 25 in the bag. All right. Next on that list for me, quickly, Eastern Washington gets 750 G's to play at Florida. And then I was like, hey, RJ, didn't you put Eastern Washington on the money in the bag list earlier? You're damn right I did. I put them on the list for the Pac-12 because they got to play Oregon. And I casually was looking at it like, what the hell is Eastern Washington's schedule, man? All right. They got Florida at Florida. They play Eddie George's Tennessee State. They got Oregon. They got a 12-win Montana State that was also able to get a win against Washington last year. And then they got a 10-win Montana. The Big Sky is taking no prisoners, fam. Like, you got to be a really damn good football team to make it up out of there. Eastern Washington said, hey, we're not on Bob Barker right now. We don't want a piece. We want the whole thing. I'm excited about this. They're getting half as much as Cincinnati. What? To go play Florida. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. I love this absurd and stupid sport. Thanks for watching this video. And remember, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos on the #1 ranked show YouTube channel.